Hi, everybody. I'm just about a minute early, I think. I just wanted to make sure that I am streaming. If you are here, just pop on, say hi. Let me know it's working. I'd appreciate that. Hope everyone is doing well today. If you are here, just say hello. Thanks for popping on. We're just going to wait another minute. Oh, it looks like it's 12 o'clock noon, right on the button. Hi, Lisa from Oregon. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me today. Jackie Blewett, hey, girlfriend. Hope you're feeling better. Mary, Lori, Alicia, Gloria. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, everyone, so much for popping in today. Let me know if you like this view so far. I am going to bring you down to the table in just a minute once I start designing. Hi, Teresa, Tina, Ella, Kirsten, Debbie. Oh, my goodness. Everyone's here. Aaron, Diana. How is everyone? Oh my gosh. Looks like there's a whole bunch of people from a whole bunch of places. Hopefully the weather's okay there for you. We got snow actually a day or two ago, and it's just melting now. The sun is out, so hopefully spring is on the way. Welcome to the Unique in the Creek page. I am the guest designer. If you don't know who I am, my name is Judy Baker. I live in Alberta, Canada. I am a proud Canadian, and I'm honored to be here today. Once I start my live, you may have questions about the supplies I'm using. I've linked everything in the description box below. If you have any questions, I've got all the mesh, ribbons, and the tools that I am using. If you have not already, please follow and like the Unique in the Creek Facebook and YouTube pages. That way you'll get all future videos from a whole bunch of great designers, and you'll see all the future announcements. Okay. If you shop at Unique in the Creek, if you could be so kind to use my affiliate link, that is listed in the description box. And upon checkout, make sure you put the code TEAMUNIQUE, because then you'll get 5% off your wreath boards. Okay, so let's get started. I just need to get my readers on. So this is what we are making today. It's an everyday wreath that I think will be perfect for this time of year. Once the sun's out, everyone likes bright colors and things. Once I'm done with this, it'll be really sunny and fresh looking, and it'll be a perfect Mother's Day gift. Okay, so I'm just going to bring you down to the board and then we'll get started. All right, let me know if the view is okay. I'm hoping that you'll be able to see everything I am doing. Okay, I'm just going to push that out of the way. And today, this is the mesh I am using, though. I will show you this. It's one of my favorite meshes. It's a fake jute farmhouse stripe mesh. Lori does have it in the shop in several colors. Also, a reminder, just remember everything I am using today in this wreath is purchased from the Unique in the Creek shop. She has hundreds and hundreds of beautiful quality items. So just make sure you check it out. Okay, other than the greens and florals, which I pick up along the way, I'm in Canada, so we don't have a lot of options, but most of my florals and greenery does come from Michael's. Okay. So what we're doing here is the ring board. The ring board is probably my favorite board. I'm not sure if you can see that. There we go. And obviously it's shaped in a ring. We have outside and inside holes. This is how I refer to the board. I'm not sure if it's the proper way, but there's 3 holes. I go outside to middle, middle to inside. Okay, and in today's design, we're going to do every other set of holes. So if I go down the outside hole to the middle with my zip tie, that's the way you're going to do it. Sorry, I'm not sure if that view is okay. So 2, there you go. And then the next set of holes, which is this row here, I'm going to go from the middle to the inside. So middle, inside, outside to the middle. Okay, but I'm going to do every set of holes, which is 16. So you're going to need 16 pieces of mesh. When I cut my mesh, I cut longer pieces to go on the outside. I really like the fullness it gives me. The outside pieces, I think, are cut about 22 inches. Let me just double check here. Maybe even longer. Yeah, these are longer. They're about 25 inches. Okay, and then I cut the inside mesh for the inside rolls a little bit shorter because I just need it to support my sign and stuff, and that's about 15 inches. Okay, it's not an exact science. I honestly just cut, but I never have a problem doing a wreath in one roll. But if you you just have to keep an eye on your measurements. Some rows or most of the rows are supposed to be 360, but unfortunately sometimes they're a little bit short. So you can, practice yourself and gauge how you feel. That is what you like, how full you want it to be. Okay. You don't even have to do every set of holes. You could just do every other set of holes at 25 inches. That gives you a perfectly fine full wreath. Okay. So let's just get started. We're going to do the outside rows first. The inside rows, like I said, for me are mostly just a filler to keep my sign up. And I like doing the woodland ruffle. I think probably most of you know the woodland ruffle. Hello, everybody. You just roll it a couple times. You clip it, flip it. And you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I just roll in the edges a couple because you don't want the frayed edges to show. And then you just ruffle up the middle. This mesh is really nice because it's got a center line. So you can just follow the center line up, just like that. Pinch it at the end. And I'm going to put it in my mesh zip tie, which is right here. I actually will show you how I attach my ribbons. I don't put the ribbons and the mesh in at the same time. I find it kind of hard to do, but zip ties are your friend. Okay, so I'm just going to zip that up and I'm going to clip it off. Actually, I think we're going to do just all the mesh at the same time. So we're going to do outside, inside. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to do, this is outside, outside, this is inside. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to roll the edges in a little bit. I'm sorry. I think I might be confusing you all. Oh, hi, Gail. I am using a fake poly jute farmhouse mesh. If you need to see the descriptions of anything I'm using, that is in the description box. It'll help you out there. I've got everything linked. One thing about this mesh, it's really sticky, but it actually is your friend at the end because it sticks to each other and it keeps its shape. It keeps the fluffiness and the height, which I kind of like. Okay, so you're just going to roll the ends. And then you're just going to flip it around, put something heavy perhaps there to keep it from rolling back at you. Okay, so roll in the edges a little bit and just follow that line right up to the top. How is everyone today? Hey, Deanna, how are you? Okay, and then we're going to put this on the outside holes. Okay. I just realized I did not load my board. That's one thing you're going to have to do. So let's do that right now, okay? Grab some zip ties here. The zip ties are also linked in the description box below. So this was an outside hole, so I'm going to do an inside, down and up with your zip tie. Outside, oops, outside to the middle, middle to the inside, outside to the middle. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Now we're back to the inside again, which is this one here. Oh, maybe the camera up just a little bit. How's that? Is that better? Oh, that might be better, hey? Sorry for the hands. Is that better, Kirsten? So this goes on the inside. And just pull that up. Zip it tight. We will go out and we'll fluff everything after, okay? So this is those are the two inside. This is an outside. Okay, we're going to roll it up. And then just keep on ruffling. Oh, or clipping. Forgot to clip. Sorry. I'm a little confused today, I think. There we go. That's better. Is that better, Kirsten? Thank you. Okay, so you get this really cute ruffle. I love the woodland ruffle. I think it's nice and fluffy, poofy. I like my wreaths to be really fluffy and poofy. So I really like the woodland ruffle because I like the curls. Okay. Zip that off. This is a zip tie gun. If you have not seen it before, it's really quite handy. If you have sore hands or thumbs, my thumbs give me a little issue. So this is a really good zip tie tool. It cuts and pinches your zip tie off for you. So very handy to have. Even if you don't have sore hands, it'll save you from getting them perhaps. So it's a good little investment. Okay, so the inside ruffle goes right here. Needle nose pliers also is a great tool to have when you're making wreaths with the zip ties. It pulls it nice and tight. Okay, one more outside woodland ruffle. Just ruffle up the corner or the edge a little bit, roll it up, pinch it. I am putting the mesh in curl side up. You can do curl side down. It totally depends. I've done both and I like both ways. So it's really personal preference. I typically, though, use curl side up like this. Okay, so the curls are up. Okay, so then we're going to put this last outside row in of mesh. And we're going to zip tie it. Cut that off. Look how easy that is. Now, for the last one, it gets a little tight. That's okay. You can just get a clip, not a paper clip, a clothespin or anything. If you need to hold any of your mesh back to make it so it's easier to see, you can do that. Okay, so I just have one middle to inside hole zip tie to use. And again, I'm just using this as a filler to help make my wreath a little bit more full. But again, you don't have to do this inside mesh if you don't want to. Just zip tie that up. And clip it off. And look at that. Easy peasy. Hopefully you can see. Look how full that is on one roll of mesh only. We'll get everything straightened up once we get it hung up, okay? But this gives you an idea of what we're working with, okay? I do have half of the wreath already done with the ribbons. So you don't have to sit here and watch me fumble for too much longer. So I have cut my ribbons 14 inches. I believe they're 14. And sometimes I find once I do a wreath, I might have to snip it a little bit to shorten them, but I'd rather have it a little bit longer than not long enough, because you can't add the length to the ribbon. Okay, So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over the outside holes only with another zip tie. Okay, just the same type of zip tie. Deanna, yes, fluffier is a perfect word for it. So I'm just going to look underneath. Okay, so this is a outside hole. You're going to go down and up through those same zip ties that you've already done. Okay, you're just going to go over top. Let me see if I can show you on the back. So here I went over top that same zip tie that I've already done. Okay, you can add another one if you needed to. I mean, the zip ties, you know, you probably could get 3 or 4 zip ties in one. I haven't tried that many, but you possibly could. So what I'm doing here is I have 2 sets of ribbon tails. Can you see that? I'm doing a bee and daisy natural with this really pretty lace Swiss dot in yellow and white. I paired those 2 together. And then the other set, I'm going to do this really fun, bright yellow white daisy ribbon. And I paired it with this natural polka dot ribbon. I love polka dots. I love stripes. So I often use things like that in my designs. And who doesn't like a really pretty Swiss dot, right? Okay. So our next set of tails, I did the natural and daisy. So for this set, I'm going to use the bee and Swiss dot. So what you do is you just take the 2. You can put whatever one you want on top, whichever is your favorite or what you want to see. I'm going to put this beautiful lace and Swiss dot ribbon. I'm going to fold it in half to get my center. And then I'm going to just scrunch it up the middle, just like that. I just pinch it in the middle. Sorry, I'm not sure if you can see. I just pinch it in the middle. I pop out these little divots, okay, where I'm pinching, because it helps the ribbons kind of curl out better. Okay, like look at that. It's almost a perfect, you could probably make a circle out of that. So then I'm going to take that where I pinched it, and I'm going to put it back into that second zip tie right on top of my mesh, like that. And before I cut off the zip tie, I'm going to use my needle nose pliers. I'm just going to gently tighten that up, and I'm going to make sure that they're even. Okay, just like that. Okay, and I'm going to push that zip tie back, and I'm going to zip it just like that. And then when I'm done, I'm going to flare the ribbons out however you like, okay? They do stick to this mesh. That's the only thing, that they're a little bit stubborn. But we'll fluff up those ribbons once we go all the way around, okay? So the next set is this beautiful natural and daisy ribbon. I put the natural on top of this one. Or did I? Yes, I did. Sometimes you just have to check. Okay, and then you pinch up the middle. Pop out your divots. Okay. Oh, good lordy. People, I forgot my zip tie. Hold please. This won't take long, I promise. Okay, so you take your zip tie, put it right over top, that outside to middle hole, right over your mesh. Just like that. So it's going to look just like that. Okay. And I have one more here. Sorry about that. I should have done it all in one step. So hope everyone is well today. Pop down below where you are from. It's always nice to see where people are from or where they're watching from. I know we have a lot of fans of Unique in the Creek. Remember, she gets new supplies all the time, new kits, They sell out quickly. So if you see anything you like, make sure you go and shop there. Check out her shop. Lori has and Dave have a ton of stuff in the warehouse. Everything's coming in. So it makes it great for us wreath makers, because in Canada, they are a godsend here. Because we don't, in the States, you guys have so many more options. And thankfully, we have Lori and Dave, because without them, I would have to use dollar store ribbons and mesh, and I just can't do that. Not anymore, anyway. I've heard it called that, Becky, or fancy. You know, I don't even sure who it was. I heard them call it that. I just think it's pretty. Okay, take your needle nose pliers, tighten that up, push it to the back. It kind of helps the ribbon tail sit up. Michelle Razzo Redding from Monkey's Creation actually mentioned that, and I think it's a great tip. If you push your zip tie back with your ribbon tails back to the inside of the board, it helps the tail stay up. And if you see any frays, which you will see, just cut them off. Don't stress out over it. To be honest, probably no one else notices it except us. Find your center in your ribbon. Sorry. Scrunch it up the middle. Pop out your divots. Pull over your wreath and attach it to that zip tie that you put over, right over your mesh. But again, if you have strong hands and you can use it all in one zip tie, you can put in your mesh, put in your ribbons. I just don't have that dexterity in my hands anymore to do that, but you certainly can. Okay, pull it to the back and zip tie. Cutter and fluff out your ribbons. Okay, so we'll do it like that. I'll just quickly go around and see what these tails look like. Okay. You can go left over right ribbon. You can go right over left ribbon. Sometimes my ribbons won't even stay that way. I just have to go back and back and again, or all the time, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay, once we get the bow and the sign and everything else on, to be honest, you don't notice that the ribbon tail may be, turned the wrong way. I don't think anyway. I think some people it might bother, but it doesn't bother me all that much if one's opposite than the other. See what I mean? This ribbon really sticks, or this mesh really sticks to everything. So you kind of have to put it out and hopefully it doesn't snag it, because it often does, but that's okay. Okay, so this is our base so far with the ribbon tails. I hope you can see how fluffy and, just fun that is. And this neutral color will go on any door, because you can stick any color ribbons or accents to it, and you can make a neutral base look fantastic. Okay, so we're going to put that aside just for a second. I'm going to show you the sign we're going to use. We're going to use this really adorable welcome sign, which is perfect because it's very generic. Okay, and this can go up from now until the fall. I mean, who doesn't love a daisy sign? So this is a welcome board. It is 15 inches by a little over about 15 by 5 inches. Okay, again, got this at the Unique in the Creek shop. Make sure and go check that out if you're interested. And Jackie Blewett from Jackie's Recent Things. And also she is a team designer on the TEAMUNIQUE. If you haven't checked her out, please do so as well. She's fantastic. And she discovered this 3M auto tape. It's for automotives, but it sticks on metal and wood really well. So if you don't want to use hot glue or anything like that, this ribbon is great. I got this off of Amazon. I'm sure there are stores that you could probably get it on, but Amazon's just as easy. So these Unique in the Creek cable mounts are also awesome because there's no sticky. When you use, here, I'll show you. When you have a cable mount, that has the sticky backing on it, you have to pull this backing off in order to use the hot glue because or E6000 or Gorilla Glue, whatever you're using, because when it sticks to something, if it gets really hot, like if you live in Texas or something like that, this sticky sort of melts, and then your cable mount will fall off, and then your sign will obviously fall off. But with Lori's Unique in the Creek cable mounts, they're just no foam, no backing. So you don't have to, worry about that. If you want, you can just put some hot glue on your board, stick your cable mount on it, or put some E6000 or Gorilla super glue on there and let it dry. But if, for instance, today we don't want to wait for it to dry, we're going to use this tape, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I cut just a small sliver off. You don't need a lot, and it doesn't have to cover the entire mount, okay? Oh, Susan, the 3M tape did not work? Oh, I have not had any trouble with that. I just make sure you put the right side to the right side, though. So the sticky side that's on the roll, the black side that comes on the roll, sorry, this way, needs to go on your mount. And then if you can see this, how it's a little bit wider than the actual mount. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. I'm just going to cut that off. I mean, it doesn't matter if it stays there, but you don't really need it. So you might as well just cut it off. And then to be honest, with this tape, I find this a really hard, the red to come off. Oh, here we go. So you pull the red tape, and the red sticky side is the part that you're going to stick on your board or your metal sign, okay? I've tried this on these wooden boards, and like I said, I haven't had anyone complain about it. But then again, I don't live in 110-degree, weather, okay? But I don't think it's going to be a problem. This is made for automotive cars, and cars, they're outside all the time, everywhere. So I'm not sure. I'm so sorry it didn't work for you, because it really is quite a great invention that Jackie found for us. And again, these signs, Lori has a great amount of different signs, and they're all fun, different shapes, colors. Susan, I peeled off sticky from mount and applied 3M tape, but it back off. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't help you there. Maybe I did read in a thread somewhere. So sorry, I'm trying to get this off. That some people's order, when they picked it up from Amazon or they shopped at Walmart, it was not sticky. So maybe it's a bad batch, or they dried out in the store because they were too old. I don't know, but this is pretty sticky. As you can tell, I can barely get this. No, there we go. The red is off. Okay, so I'm going to throw that in there. And I just put these just kind of where the rope was. I'm sorry, I cut the rope off too early before I could show you, but it comes with a rope. I just cut the ropes off, and then where it was, I just stuck 2 cable mounts on there. Okay, so my board will look like that. Hi, Wendy. Oh, Susan, you live in Arizona? Well, I don't know. I think maybe you might have gotten a bad roll, because it should be very sticky. Like when you peel it off of this roll, does it feel really sticky? Because it's a very sticky tape. So maybe like I said, you might want to try a different roll. I'm using the 7/8 inch width roll. And again, maybe give that a try. I'm so sorry, but I really like it. But if it doesn't work for you, just peel off your foamy back, stick a dab of DAP. I think in the States you guys have DAP glue. We don't have that here in Canada, but a Gorilla Glue or a super glue, or I use E6000. I put the cable mount on the board or the sign, and then I put hot glue around it. Remember, hot glue does not stick to metal. You need something else. So that's why the E6000 comes in handy. And on a metal sign, if you want, you could always sandpaper the spot rough it up a little bit where you're going to put your cable mount, it gives it a little bit more adhesion because the back of the metal signs, as we know, is super smooth, right? Here, let me see if I have one here. Sorry. So sorry. Hang on first. Sorry. So on the signs, you know how they're very smooth? If you want to put your cable mount here, maybe just rough that up with, let's see, with like sandpaper. You just take a sandpaper block or a piece of sandpaper and just, you know, rough up that little piece there, and then put your, dust it off, and then put your sticky super glue in there, put your cable mount on, and then hot glue around that, and it should be fine. But again, I don't live in Arizona, so I hope that works for you. Anyway, so with the full round already done with the mesh, this is the top of my board, okay? Where the 2 holes are extra on the ring board, this is my hanging hose. I've already put the zip tie. You can use a pipe cleaner or anything to hang it. So this is the top, which means right here directly below this is the bottom, okay? I'm going to put a little clothespin on here so I know where that is. Now from the bottom, if you're looking at my wreath, this is how I want it to look. I want this side to be a little lower than this side, okay? So on the ring board, if you count, let's see here. If you count from the bottom, I'm going to go 3 up, and then I'm going to go 4 up, and that's where I'm going to put my cable mount, okay, for my sign. So I'm going to put my sign in now because this probably takes me the longest as well. Okay, so I'm going to count from the bottom, 1, 2, 3 holes to my left, and I'm going to put my sign right there. One thing about the wreath boards is if you put your sign in wrong and you put it up and you go, oh, that doesn't look right there, it's really easy to fix. Oh, Susan, yeah, if it's not sticky when you unroll that little roll, I would return that as well. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to put it on the 4th hole, which is right here. Now I'll show you the back as soon as I'm done, okay? I'm going to put it right over top that zip tie that I have there. Again, this is one of the hardest parts to put on signs, I think. Now I'm just going to loosely pipe cleaner it in. I don't want it extremely tight yet because I may have to adjust it. So for now, that's what the sign is going to look like. It'll look better once you can see it upright. Okay, I'm just going to stand up here for a second. I might have to finagle this one here to make it a little bit lower. Hold, please. This is where you can talk amongst yourselves. Sorry, I can't show you what I'm doing yet. I apologize. I think I have this in the wrong set of holes because it's not angled as well as I like. So again, I just pull it out. I might put this sign might be a little bit longer than my other sign. So I'm going to put this set of holes below it and see how I like that. Did you get that sign, Wendy? Oh, I would gonna love to see how you do it. I love your designs. Okay. And I'm gonna move this one up. You hate putting on signs? I know, it's got to be the worst, eh? I mean, I don't know. You'd think something like this so simple wouldn't be this hard, but it really is. Okay, let's try this. Oh, my clip is showing the bottom, Wendy. Okay. Oh, and it fell off. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen on a live. Yeah, this is the bottom. Okay. This isn't usually how I put my signs on, but it's going to be how I do my sign today because I don't really want to have to take that out. So this is the top. This is the bottom. I went 1, 2 up, and then I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. Although I think that's going to change because, yeah, that's a bit too high, I think. I don't know. Maybe not. That might be okay. That might be okay once we start accenting it all. Actually, no, it's not. It's got to come down. I apologize. Oh, my goodness. Sorry for everybody. I'm so sorry. I should have just listened to my brain. What are y'all working on today? Are you going to make a Sugi style wreath? Oh, Deanna, do you want to come and put on my signs for me? That would be awesome. I would think that would be great because, as you can see, I struggled. Okay, that might be a little bit better. Again, might have to change that. There we go. Might have to change that because I do like mine a little bit more crooked. Little, you know, how do you guys say in the States? Cattywampus, and we say kitty corner, catty corner. I'm not sure what we say actually. Okay, there we go. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to accent this wreath with florals. Now, if you know me, you know I love to add greenery and flowers to my wreaths. I have several options today. I've got these, and again, I don't have the SKUs. I apologize. I think most of this came from Michael's or Amazon. Okay, so I think I'm going to use a bunch of different florals and greenery. I'm just going to move this aside. I've got this pretty sort of bead with greens on it. I think this is probably supposed to be boxwood. And I have these pretty yellow filler flowers. But of course, it's a daisy. It's a daisy sign. So we're going to need to put some pretty white daisies in. Okay. And I'm thinking we might accent with some yellow. Okay. So you guys will have to let me know what you think because I also have these. Oh, Wendy, I will do a little bit of sticky outy things, but probably not as much today. Although this is a sticky outy thing, right? These little pip berries are really cute. So I think I might use some of these little pieces that I've cut off of a bush that, again, I apologize. I don't know where I got it from. Again, it'll be either Amazon or it will be Michael's. Okay. These are cute, hey? These little pips with the little pips on them. I think they're great. So let's get started, okay? Let's see. I think I'm just going to put, for the time being, I'm going to add one of these, I think in the yellow. I'm going to put this in here. And then I think I'm going to put we'll put the white in here with the natural, and then the yellow and the green. Something like that. What do you think of that? Do you think that looks okay? The little yellow flower, like this flower or this flower with the pips? Do you like the ones with the pips or the ones with just the little beady yellows? I'm thinking you all mean this one. The little yellow ones. Okay, yay to pips or to buds? Say pips or buds. Pips. Buds. Pips. Let's go with pips. I like the pips too. And we can always add the buddy things along the way if we need some more filler. Okay, so let's start here then. With the ones with the pips, they do have sticky outy things. If you want to have a really good time, you should join the Can-Am VIP connection group. It is a paid group. I did link it in the description box, but we have a lot of fun. There's great designers in there. They coach us. They're our mentors. And we have wreath critiques. We have chit chats. We have a whole bunch of fun. And that's our term. We like sticky outy things. This says a sticky outy thing. Okay, so we're going to put maybe this yellow in with this. Let me see. And the white with this. It is the best group. Hey, Wendy. Something like that. What do you guys think? Oh, Deanna, you're in Southern California. Oh, girl, I'll fly to you. I would love to go to California again. I just loved it there. Okay, how does that look? Good? I think we'll give that a try. And again, we can always add other things, or we can even do both if we find that we need some more filler, okay? Sorry, I'm keeping you guys a long time here. I apologize. I'm going to cut these little stems down, though, because they are a bit too long. Okay, and then I'm going to take my glue gun. And I'm going to spread out the ribbons here, however you like. Put the natural there. And then in the mesh, I'm going to glue the tip of this with some hot glue, and I'm going to push it into the mesh. And you want it to stick into the mesh, okay? And glue it in there really nice. One thing good about most florals is they are on a wire. So you can maneuver them to however you like them, okay? So that's always a good thing. And we'll go back, and before, I hang it up, I always go back and check to make sure that everything's glued in properly, because sometimes you think it's glued in and it really isn't. Okay, so then we're going to take these little white flowers. Okay, unfortunately, these aren't pushers. I like flowers that have pusher stems. This isn't one of them, but that's okay. We know how to fix things like that. We just cut them to length. And you can always double up on your flowers as well. If they're not as full as you like, you can always just double up. Okay, put some glue on there. Okay, so you just put a little glue on there. Okay, and you just stick it in the center of your mesh, and it'll glue in just like that. Okay, and so I'm alternating white and yellow. So of course this one will be a yellow. Put some glue. Stick it right into that mesh. Need another glue stick. There we go. And I like to pull them up a little bit so they're not like flat, They're not like just hanging horizontal. You want them kind of up and perky so you can see them. Okay, and again, we'll go back around and we'll check everything and make sure everything's nice how we want them, okay? So you put the glue on the end and stick it in your mesh and pull it up. However you like it, just pull up those flowers so they're perky and not flat. There we go. Well, sometimes your ribbon doesn't stand up for whatever reason. I mean, it's the same ribbon that everything else is, but you just have to kind of, we'll go back and fix it, I promise. Okay, that was a white one. So let's go back. Remember, comes with flower pips. Lori actually has, I'm not sure, Lori, do you have yellow in the shop? She does have assorted pips that you can buy just alone. And then you can add them to any flower base that you like. You know, if you needed, say, a red, you know, you have a red and white flower and you need some red and white pips, Lori probably has something you could use, and you can just add it to any of your florals, right? You can mix and match everything. I should have actually had my glue pot on instead of a glue gun. Sometimes it makes it easier when you're doing florals. I forgot to plug that in. So glue gun it is. Okay. So you see when I'm going around how they're not flat. They're sticking up. It just makes it look better, I think. You can do it any way you like, but there we go. This one is yellow. Are you all stocking up your shops with Mother's Day wreaths? Because that's a very important occasion and one of the more popular ones at that, right? And then we'll be designing Halloween and Christmas very soon. Okay, one more to go, and that's going to be a white. Let me see if I can find a fluffier one. Some of these seem, you know, fluffier, like fluffier than the other ones. I think that'll be good. I'm just going to cut that down just a little bit. Remember, Unique in the Creek shop gets new supplies, and they load them every Tuesday. If there's new supplies, it comes out on Tuesdays with kits. And they got a load of pallets recently. So please go check them out. You won't regret it. Her prices are awesome and their selection is great. So there. How's that looking? Oh, Deanna, I will. You just let me know. Actually, Lynn Braunbed, are you here? Can you pick me up in your private jet and we can go see Deanna in California? Okay, everyone, how's that look? Does that look okay? Yay, nay? Not so bad? What do we think? Let me just check it out here. Just going to look at it. Okay, so now we're going to make a bow. Let me just quickly clean up here. Now, bows are not usually people's best friends either. I struggle with them all the time, and I often will make more than one bow. I'll make a bow, I don't like it, then I'll make another bow, I don't like it, and you know, it's a vicious circle, but we keep going. Thank you, Ruthie, I appreciate it. Thanks, Wendy. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so the ribbons I've picked for my bow, I tend to use a couple of different ribbons than I've used in the actual wreath. So, but the same sort of color tone, okay? So these are, let me see, these are the 4 ribbons I used with my wreath, these 4. So I'm going to add 2 2-inch ribbons, okay? So I'm just going to kind of play around with the order, but I do think I'm going to like to have this one at the top. Okay, so this is going to be my last ribbon. I think I'm going to put a yellow 2-inch Swiss dot ribbon. Okay, hopefully the dots show up on camera. Okay, and oh, Wendy, you would wish your work table look like mine? Well, it's neat only because I'm doing this live. Typically, it's not. So I'm going to make my tails about 10 inches, maybe a little bit longer, maybe 11 inches. Again, just like my ribbon tails, I like my bow tails to be longer because I'd rather cut them back a little bit as opposed to having to redo the whole bow because it doesn't look great. Okay. Thank you, Mila. Okay, so we're going to just pinch the center of that ribbon. We're going to put it into this bow maker. This is the Easy Bows Design Pro. I'm pretty sure I have linked this other bow maker, the Deluxe Easy Bow Maker. I think I linked this one in the box. But Lori, I'm not sure. Do you have this this Design Pro? I know she has the Easy Bow Stow and Go, and I don't have that one. But any of the Easy Bows I like and I enjoy. So you can use whichever you have, or any of them. Anything, any bow maker that she sells is good. So I'm going to make a, let me see, about a 6.5 inch loop on one on each side. Actually, yeah, one on each side. I'm going to do a 1-2-1 bow, which means I'm going to do one loop on one side for each, and then I'm going to do 2 loops, 1 loop, 2 loops, 1 loop. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so this is also 6.5. I'm going to pinch that center. I'm going to make my tail. Hang on a second. I'm going to make the tail the same length. I might move a couple of them up front, up top when I'm done, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that's one loop. And then I'm going to do, let me think. I'm going to do 2 loops. Then we'll do a 1 loop. I'm going to do a 2 loop natural. I'm going to do the bees. Oh, I hope I have enough ribbon. Sometimes you think you don't have enough ribbon. Let's give this a try. Okay, so I'm going to do the same length of tail, maybe just a tad shorter. I'm going to take my loop, and this loop I think I'm going to make 6 inches. So just a little bit shorter, 1/2 inch shorter than that first loop. Push down the center, 1/2 inch shorter than that first loop. Push down the middle. Okay. Oh, this one's a little bit longer. There you go. Push that in the middle. Cut off my tail. And oh, you know what? I meant to do 2 loops of that one. That's okay. That's okay. We'll figure this out. Signs and bows, people. Signs and bows. We'll just do another little tail here. We'll do another loop here. And another loop here. And that's okay because I may use those little tails as up tails. I may bring the tails up like that for this one. Okay, because I kind of like up tails as well. So we'll cut those off. We'll cut them off right about here, and then we'll dovetail them later. Okay, that's not a problem. Let's see here. We'll go up, down, down, and up. Okay, so this is what we have. And then I'm going to do another 1 loop bow. I'm going to do it with this natural polka dot. Do you have all these ribbons, Wendy? Is that what you mean? We're going to do one loop here. And we're going to go at about 5.5 inches. I'm not the best bow maker, people. Just to give you a heads up. I struggle with bows like many of us, but I just keep practicing and I keep trying, and I hope that they turn out. Okay, so let's see. So we got a loop there. Uptails there. So that's kind of what it looks like now. Okay, then I'm going to use this daisy. So one loop, two loop, one loop. I'm going to do 2 loops on this one. And I'm going to do about 5 inches. Just a smidge shorter than the other one, than my last set of loops. Becky, I just, because most of my wreaths are very similar, I usually go 6.5. Once in a blue moon, I might do a 7-inch loop, but for me, I find 7 inches just flop around a little bit too much for me. So I typically start at 6 or 6.5, and then I just move down and, you know, make each set of loops a little bit smaller depending on how many ribbons you use. Okay, but I'll always typically use 4 ribbons at least. What am I using? What am I at here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to be using 5 ribbons in this bow. But you can use as many as you want. Okay, so then we're going to just flip these loops up like that. Put this one down, that up. So that's kind of what we have. That's kind of what we have now. And to end it, I'm going to use this pretty, I'll show you close up, this pretty lace ribbon with the Swiss dots. How cute is that? A Judy bow. Yeah. Judy's a little confused today. Okay, so I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. It's about 4.5 inches, I guess. Okay. And put that down there. And this is the bow that we have, and we will sort through the colors, you know, as we go. I got to stand up when I do my bows, when I tie them up. I'm going to take a really long zip tie. Let's see, how long is it? This is a 12-inch zip tie that I got at Home Hardware. I'm sure you can get them on Amazon. I'm going to slide that zip tie, if you can see, right under all this, the one side of loops. Then I'm going to pull up the zip tie. Oh, make sure you have the zip tie. You got to remember when you use zip ties, remember, flat part to the sky, up. Otherwise, it doesn't zip properly. Okay, I'm going to take it. I'm going to gently zip it, like just so it's together and my bow is not going to fall apart. Then I take this and I'm going to pull it up. And, oh, you know what? Hang on. I'm going to get my pipe cleaner before I forget. And I'm not sure if you guys know this. These pipe cleaners are sometimes short, and it's like ribbon. I don't like having too short of anything because it's hard to pull the bow in. So I usually attach 2 pipe cleaners, and this is how I do it. I'm sure you all know how to do this, but in case you don't, it's a handy dandy trick. So now you have a longer pipe cleaner, and pipe cleaners are inexpensive like zip ties. So it doesn't hurt. If it makes your job easier to make it a little bit longer, then it's worth the extra pipe cleaner. Oh, thank you, Ruthie. I appreciate it. I feel a little discombobulated today, but that's okay. I'm amongst my friends here. Y'all are so kind. I appreciate it. So actually, we're going to do that up just a little bit more. We're going to pull it out of the bow maker. This is the important part about your bow, is this stack. Can you see that? This stack here? When you take your bow or your zip tie or your pipe cleaner, you need to make sure that this zip tie is around that stack. So I'm just going to gently move it over. This is where I have trouble. I'm still pinching, okay? I'm going to move the back of that pipe cleaner to the back of my bow, like that. Then I'm going to take my pipe cleaner that I've made longer. Just going to push down on my bow here, just like that. You see that space that I put in here to put my pipe cleaner in, like that? Make sure it's where I want it to be, which is right about there. And I'm going to zip it up a little bit more. So now you see I have a zip tie around my bow and the pipe cleaner going this way. Okay, so I can attach that to my wreath. Now, this looks like a hot mess. It's a hot mess express, but don't worry. I'm sure I'll be able to fix it. Okay, so let me just see here. Okay, I'm just going to tighten this. I'm going to press this down, and I'm going to tighten that zip tie. Okay, I'm going to pull this as tight as I can. Okay, and I'm going to snip off the zip tie only. Okay, don't accidentally snip off your pipe cleaner, because then that's a whole other story. Okay, so here we go. We have our bow. Let me just pull my tails forward here. So what I'm going to do is pull my tails forward like this. Not sure, maybe I should lift you up a little bit more. Is that better? I'm going to pull you up just a bit. Okay, you're going to pull your tails in the front. We're going to adjust those later. It's just for fluffing the bow. It makes it a little bit easier to get all this out of your way. Like that. If it's easier for you, just set your bow on the table and you can fluff your bow on flat on the table. Okay, you're going to take, sorry, I need to pick it up to show you. You just take your bow loops, and Michelle showed us how to do this. She makes the most beautiful bows, Michelle and Lori. They're just excellent. Okay, you're just going to shuffle your loops however you like them to be. Okay. Sometimes I struggle with the 2-inch or 2.5 inch because I'm so used to working with the 1.5 inch ribbon. That's kind of my favorite ribbon, is the 1.5. So I have to think about the 2.5 placement sometimes. It's a good fluffing. Yeah, you got to do your bows a good fluffing or else they just don't look right. Okay. So that's kind of like what it's going to look like. Can you tell? Can you see that? Very good. You got to manhandle it. You sure do. Okay, so then we're going to take our little wreath here. Typically, when I do my wreaths, I'll show you the back again. This is the top of the board. Okay. Now, I want it to the left side. When I'm looking at my wreath, I like my bows on the left side. You can put them on the right side if you like. My brain likes it on the left, and that's how I like to design. But you can do it. You can put a bow anywhere you like. Once in a while, I'll do a bow on the bottom, but typically I do it on the top, and I typically put it one away from the center hole. So where your center is, it's either on the left or the right side of the board. I'm going to choose the left. Okay, so that's where I'm going to put my bow. So I just take my bow, go to the top of the board, look for the next set of holes, and I'm going to take it from the middle hole to the outside of the board. Okay, the outside hole to the board, not the actual outside of the board. I'll show you in just a second here. Okay, I'll show you just a second. Okay, So this is the top. I put it on the middle hole to the, what I call the outside hole. Okay. So the first 2 holes. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to see which way I need to make it go. Oh my goodness, I've been on here for an hour. I apologize. We're not even done yet. If you need to go, don't worry. You can just go and watch the replay later and pop in later if you like. I know this is really long, and I apologize, and I appreciate your patience. I'm very new at this, so I might be babbling quite a bit, and sorry about that. But we're amongst friends, right? We're all good. Oh, thank you, Ruthie. I appreciate that. You guys are all so kind. Okay, so I'm just going to switch the colors here a little bit if I can. I'm going to go, you know, natural yellow. You want something. I probably shouldn't have done the yellow on top of a yellow now that I think about it, but that's okay. It'll look okay. Because you know why? Because I'm going to put greenery in there and it'll break up the yellow. Okay. So can you see this now? The tails are too long, right? You don't want to cover up your pretty sign. Oh, just a second. Hi. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Yeah, little tips and tricks you learn from watching other people, right? Thank you, Chunky. Oh, thank you, guys. You're so kind. Okay, so I'm going to cut my ribbon tails because, like I said, you don't want to, you know, hide your sign. Now, I have specific scissors for my ribbons. I got these at the Unique in the Creek shop. They are listed. The SKU is listed down below in the description box. And I only use these to cut my ribbons. Listen to that. That's a good ribbon. Okay. So I just, not nilly-willy, but I don't stress too much about how I cut these. I don't cut them, you know, specifically 1/2 inch shorter here, 1/2 inch shorter there. I just dovetail them. When I say dovetail them, it means you just take your ribbon, you fold it in half. You see this folded edge and the open edge? Do you see that? You're going to cut from the folded edge. Here, I'll just like that, okay? And it makes your dovetail. If you did it the opposite way, if you did the folded edge up this way, you're going to get, I'm not sure what they call this. I think they call this a ducktail. And I mean, I don't use that very often. So I'm just going to go back and flip it up and I'm going to make a dovetail. Okay. And I'm just going to go around. And trust me when I say this, I have made that mistake many, many, many times. So don't worry if you do it. You just might have to go back and make it a little bit shorter, but that's okay. Like I said, I don't measure my ribbon tails or my bow tails. I might even go back again and cut these even more once I get all my decorations in. So I wouldn't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Your wreath is going to be beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. We learn as we go. If you cut the wrong way the one time, I bet you won't do it on the next one. Right? Well, thank you, Wendy. Do you like my mind working? Sometimes I wonder, you know, sometimes. Okay. I might have put too much yellow in this bow, but I think it'll work because, like I said, I'm going to lift you up just a little bit. You see how there's a little bit too much yellow here? I wasn't really thinking when I was putting the ribbon together, ribbon on top of each other, but that's okay because we're going to put greenery in there and it'll break up all that yellow. Okay. So put you back down here. So let me just clean up here a little bit. Okay. So we got the bow on miraculously. Oh, I forgot a couple of tails here. One moment, please. Just going to cut these a little bit shorter. Okay. Those are the dovetails for the uptails that I accidentally had to put in because I forgot to do my 2 loops. Okay. So this is what we have so far. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some daisies right? We got to add some daisies. And to be honest, I might add some of these green yellows because they are pretty. So I might even add more of those. Or I might add these back. You know, we decided on the yellow flowers with the sticky outy things, but I think we might even put some more in to make it even more sticky outy. Okay. So, question, yellow, white, maybe a combination. I think maybe we might do a combination. Let's just cut up some here. I'm not sure if these are pushers. I got these at Michael's. In Canada, they were $12.99. I don't pay anything at Michael's full price because they are outrageous. But I probably got these buy one, get one if I'm actually if I actually think about it, because I don't pay full price at Michael's because they're way expensive. Okay. Not sure if I like the leaves. Oh, the leaves might be okay. What do you think? Pretty, hey? Okay. Now, you know these stems? We're going to cut this down because we don't need it that long. However, when I cut some good stems, these are good stems. I like these stems. I'm going to cut this, but I'm not going to throw this out. And the reason I don't throw these out is because they make really good picks. So if you have picks that you want and you want to wrap, like poke it, like for instance, recently Easter eggs, the foam Easter eggs, you can put them on, or little balls or lemons that you might have, or, you know, whatever you want to put in your wreaths, you can use these picks. And so I keep them. I don't keep all of them because otherwise, you know, they'd be all over my house, but I do keep them if I like them. Some of the stems that you get on flowers are really not very nice. So I won't keep those, but these ones I'll keep because they're pretty good. Okay, so these are pushers. So you're just going to push them up. Make sure you don't push hard. Like I always hold the top, because if you push too hard, they'll all come off, and then you have to repick them. And, you know, no one has time for that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I lost something here. We'll just put this right here. You see this thing right here? This little thing? It's lost its little nub thing at the top. So if you kept on pushing, the whole thing would fall off. So what you can do is just put a little dab of hot glue at the base of that. You won't see that. You won't see that little piece of hot glue that I stuck in there. You won't see that once it's in your design. Okay, it just will help it so it doesn't, you know, fall off the stem. I think I'm going to do one more here. I think we will do combinations of the yellow and the white because I think that'll be really pretty. Okay, so I'm just going to snip these off. Or is everyone really excited that it's Friday and you're ready for the long weekend? Or not a long weekend, you ready for the weekend? Here where I live in Alberta, Canada, it's not the warmest yet, but it'll get there. We're looking forward to some spring weather. Okay, so I'm just clipping these apart. Pushing gently on the pushers, cutting the stems off. My husband and I are going to do our Costco run tomorrow. You all know that's a lot of fun, hey? Actually, I don't mind Costco. Our Costco's pretty good. The lineups go pretty fast, so, you know. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got white, yellow, 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 yellow. Okay, so here's what we got. We've got yellow and white daisies, which of course I think we need to put both in because of the daisy sign. So I'm just going to take one of each, and I'm just going to kind of, I don't know, randomly place them. Okay. Even though we have fillers in the wreath, you could stop right here. You don't have to put anything else in. But I just really like a full wreath. I like lots of greens in my wreaths. But again, you don't have to do this part. You could stop right here and call it a day. I'm going to cut that just a bit shorter. So you see how this greenery, it just kind of elevates it to the next level, right? It's got the nice fluffy, airy look, and I like that look. I like that. I think that's very pretty. But you can stop wherever you want to stop. Like I said, you don't have to put all this greenery in. You don't have to put any greenery in because honestly, the jute is such a pretty color and such a neutral base, and it fluffs up really nice that you could just stop at the mesh and not even put anything in it. Just your ribbon tails, mesh, sign, and a bow, and you're good to go. But like I said, I like them a little bit longer or fluffier. So I'm just going to add some more florals. Of course, I got glue on my cutters there. I think the ones with the, yellow pips, though, I think I might just go with the white daisies because that's a lot of yellow. Let's see here. What do y'all think? Do you think I should put more yellow on the yellow? Try not to burn yourself like I just did on my finger with the hot glue. Because the yellow pips have that yellow flower already on it, I don't think I'm going to put yellow there. I'm just going to put white. Like this. I'm just going to put a white one. I'm going to slide it right underneath that. Oh yeah, that looks pretty. What do you think? Oh, this way. I think that looks pretty. It'll look really pretty once it's hung up. I promise. I'll get a picture after this live. Actually, it might be a little bit later because it's really, really sunny out. And where I take my pictures outside, it's really quite bright. But I might be able to get one in a little bit. Okay, so we're going to put... Oh, you're in Pennsylvania, Wendy? I did not know that. When you got a craft show tomorrow, well, good luck, my friend. That's awesome. Well, people are in the mood to buy. Here, we're just itching for spring so we can get our outside planters and things done. Everyone just is dying to do that. So, you know, why not put a nice new wreath, bright new wreath on your door? I'm sure you'll do great, Wendy. Okay, this is what we got so far. I'm kind of mixing and matching. You know, so you can do, I started off the one putting in both, but I think now I'm just doing alternating white with yellow, white with yellow, or yellow with white. And you can also just, you can move your little flowers over your big flowers, like you can intermingle them if you like to. Because, you know, just because they're on one pick doesn't mean you can't move it around, right? You can definitely move them around. Now, do you see how I'm kind of angling my sign? That's where the inside mesh roll pieces come in handy, because it helps with the base of the sign. I think I might actually have to move this sign. It's giving me a little bit of grief. But I will do that off camera. If I change the sign, I'll do that off camera, so you don't have to watch me fiddle with that. Okay, let's see here. I think I'm almost done, my friends. Almost done. You're probably going, yay, thank God. Don't forget to check out the Unique in the Creek shop, okay? Because like I said, Lori got a whole bunch of new stuff in for spring. They're beautiful. See, I even have to think, I even have to think sometimes which way I'm going to cut the ribbon. I have to look at it and mentally in my mind go inside, outside, which way? Okay. So see, we don't want anything impeding that beautiful sign, right? Okay, that looks pretty good, I think. Let's see. Can you guys? Nope, can't see there. Let me see. What do you think? Does that look okay? Oh, Deanna, I really have to come see you then. Mid to high 80s. Oh my God, I would love that. I mean, I don't like 110 degree heat, but I like heat. I like 80 to 90 degree heat for sure. Okay, this tail is too long still, so I'll cut that off. See what I mean, though? You can just go along and just cut as you see them. Cut as you go, right? Because sometimes you can't really tell what your tails are going to look like until after you've put it all together. Because in your mind, it might look like, oh, sorry, I forgot to bring it back down. In your mind, it might look like you want it to look that way, but you really don't. You need it shorter. Same with your ribbon tails. Okay. And then in here, I might... Sorry, I'm trying to find... Okay, there we go. I might add some daisies in the bow. I haven't decided if I should do that. Do you think I should add daisies in the bow? There's so much yellow in here. I think I'm only going to do white daisies in the bow because there's a lot of white, or there's already a lot of yellow in that bow. So let's see here. Oh, actually, these flowers are a little bit smaller. Look at that. They're cute. Okay. So I'm going to stick a little set of flowers right underneath my bow. And even though you don't necessarily see it, it just gives it a little bit of something to perk up those tails. See that? It just kind of, peeks out from the bow. Okay, folks, I'm almost done. Yay. So you can go back doing what you were doing before. I certainly appreciate your time. Again, thanks for popping in. And please don't forget to go check out Lori's shop at uniqueinthecreek.com. And if you have any questions about the supplies, they are all listed in the description box below. And if you would like 5% off your wreath boards, please use my affiliate link, which is also just in the description box, and put code TEAMUNIQUE at checkout to get your 5% off, okay? I would appreciate it, and thanks so much. All right, I think this might be done, folks. It's hard to tell on camera. I'm going to have to maybe adjust that bow just a little bit. No, it's supposed to look like that. Can you see that? Oh, thanks, Deanna. You have a good weekend. Thank you. How is that? I might actually add some more flowers coming out this way. I think that might, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do some more white here. I think I'm going to do 2 more pieces of the white floral on each side of the bow. I think it might, oops, sorry. I think it needs, sorry, I forget to move you back up. I'll get better at this, I promise. I promise. I'll get better one day. Okay, so we're just going to push that underneath that bow into the mesh so that peeks through a little bit. Like that. Yeah, I like that better. One more piece. And right underneath the bow. And then you just have the florals just kind of peeking out from underneath that bow. Adds a little bit of, you know, little finishing touch. Okay. All right. Hi, friends. How does that look? Does that look okay? Oh, you're welcome, Becky. Thanks for popping in. Thanks, Kirsten. Thank you, everyone. Sorry I took so long on this live. I promise I will get a little quicker when I do some more. It's hard to tell which way I'm supposed to face. There you go. Okay, and then when I'm done with my bow, once I'm happy to where my bow is, I'm going to cut this down and I'm going to poke the ends into one of the backs, one of the holes in the back, so everything will be nice and clean. Same thing with the sign. I'm going to do that. And then I've got my hanger on it, and then you can hang it on your door. Okay, so I will take a picture of this when I'm done, once I fluff up everything. And you can check out Unique in the Creek Facebook page, which is probably where you'll see it. It'll also be on my page, Sugi's Wreaths and More, and Judy Baker. So I appreciate your time. Again, check out all the links down below for the products that I did use in the description box below. I thank you for joining me. Thank you, Lori, for having me. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Okay, bye now.